You mentioned this earlier. What do you remember about the Western Civilization series?
Oh, I guess I didn't mention the Western Civilization series was a lecture series. I remember really learning a lot from the people that we brought in. I was in charge of organizing it for a while, for a long time.
Oh,
I brought in
wait.
people that I thought that I wanted to hear.
What is this? I mean, I don't really have.
The Western Civilization series was a lecture series that accompanied the Western Civ course every semester. And when I first got here, there'd be something like 7 speakers per quarter. Eventually we cooked it down to about 5. And then when we went to, but then it went away when we went to semesters. It was no longer a required course.
Oh, okay.
But then the speakers that we brought in were almost all of them superb. A couple of dopes, but that was really unusual. We bring them in from all over the country.
Hmm.
Well, academics don't make any money for something like $300 honorarium plus transportation and lodging. They'd come from the West Coast. So, yeah.
Tell me some memories that you have about your colleagues, past or present.
I don't know. What do you mean? Funny stories?
Sure.
Yeah.
Any kind of memory.
Hmm. Huh. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, it's always been sort of a day-to-day thing for me. Day by day. I don't. Not very many really high points or really low points for me. I mean, if you just picked a name, then I'd probably say something about it, but nothing comes to mind. No, I don't think so.
Okay, what about memories that you've had about students?
No, that's a little bit easier. Yeah. I enjoyed taking students on field trips up to Chicago. That was a lot of fun. We would go up to the Oriental Institute at the University of Chicago, and then to the Field Museum, and then to the Art Institute to look at the ancient artifacts. The Museum of Chicago has ancient Near East, like Egyptians and Babylonians and Persians and that sort of stuff. It's just wonderful. I remember going up there once with a group of students. We had a student, she was a history major. She played ultimate frisbee. And there were, I don't know, you've been to the University of Chicago? Yeah, it's one of those things. It's all English perpendicular Gothic and gray stone and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's in quadrangles, and all that. And there were a group of University of Chicago students playing ultimate frisbee on one of the quads. And so she says, well, where do we got to be? We're thinking about half an hour before we do anything. She said, I'm going to go play. Well, she went over there and she just introduced herself. She was playing frisbee with the UC students. And that was, I had to smile about that. I took some students to New York. That was kind of fun for Model UN, when Dr. Ludani was on leave. He'd every once in a while get some money to go to Hungary for a year. And so